team, welcome back to another video here on the Jack Durkin YouTube channel. How are we all doing? I hope you're doing very, very well. Now today we are talking all things survival in the Premier League, and more importantly the teams that have just come up that potentially could go down as well. Now a lot of people seem to think that all of these teams will go back down. I don't share that same opinion. I think that at least one of these teams will be in the Premier League come the end of May. Obviously we are talking about Leeds United, Burnley and Sunderland. Now all of these face huge challenges to be in the Premier League come the end of the season. Some I would say more than others. So because of that, I'm going to be picking 3 transfers that each of these clubs needs to make before the end of the window so that their survival in the Premier League is guaranteed. If you do enjoy the video, please leave a like. Leave me a comment as well who you think these teams need to sign. If you're new around here, drop me a subscription as well. It's absolutely free of charge and it helps me out massively. We are going to start with my beloved Leeds United, and it may be biasm, it may be Leeds United tinted glasses, but I genuinely believe that we are going to stay in the Premier League come the end of the season. The transfers that we've made already are fantastic. Goodmanson, Stack, Longstaff, Biol. The list goes on. Not only that, we've also got a lot of Premier League quality in the team already. Ampadu, Joe Rodon, Dan James, Jaden Bogle. Now, I know they're probably not the top of the Premier League, and a lot of people watching will think that they're not Premier League quality, but they've had the experience. They know what it's like, and I think that is going to make a massive difference this season. Now, obviously, we were highly linked to Igor Paxal, who has absolutely well and truly had my pants down. I said on numerous videos, numerous interviews that we were going to sign this man from Feyenoord, and he's decided to go to Marseille. So the first player that I think Leeds need to sign, the most important one at this current moment, is a winger. Someone that fits our style of play, a little bit tricky, direct, fast. And I also think it's really important from the left-hand side that we have somebody that is right-footed so we can cut in, cross the ball, take shots, and be a huge nuisance for defenders. Now, the gentleman that I have gone for, player 1 for Leeds United, is a man called Zuriko Davatashvili from Saint Etienne, a Georgian winger. Now, if he's anything like another Georgian winger in Ligue 1, then I'd absolutely snatch your hand off right now. However, something's telling me he's not quite on that level. Saying that, for Saint Etienne last season in Ligue 1, he got 9 goals, 8 assists, which for Saint Etienne, a team that actually did get relegated come the end of the season, isn't a bad return. Shout out to Lucky Leeds as well, by the way. I've seen this man mention Davatashvili in one of his videos. Great minds think alike, my man. Davatashvili is slight, he's direct, he cuts in, he takes shots, which is absolutely massive for a winger cutting in on his right foot. He shoots from all over the gaff, and he scored some absolute worldies for Saint Etienne last season. He's a fantastic ball carrier, and as I touched on, with Saint Etienne being relegated, we might be able to get him for a bit of a steal. He's a Georgian international as well, so he's had that international experience, which is, again, so important coming to the Premier League. More experience at a young age as well. I think he's 24. For me, cutting in off that left wing, this will be a really exciting signing for Leeds United. Next player for Leeds, again, a position that we so desperately need. A number 9, a striker, a talisman up top. Now, we've had numerous links all transfer window. I've seen Taremi from Inter Milan at one point. The one that won't go away is Rodrigo Muniz from Fulham. Rodrigo Muniz, however you say it. But today and yesterday, actually, he's been linked with a move to Newcastle United. Obviously, with the transfer fiasco going on at St James's Park at the moment, that remains to be seen whether or not he will sign. However, somebody that we have been linked with over the past 24, 48 hours, and because of that, I've done a bit of a deep dive. I've had a look at what he can offer, and I would absolutely love this man as well. Artem Dovbyk, the Ukrainian international from Roma in the Serie A. Now, last season, he didn't have an unbelievable strike rate in the Serie A. I'll be honest, I think he got 12 goals and a few assists to his name. However, at Girona the season before, which ultimately earned him the move to Roma, this man was on absolute fire. In the La Liga in the 23-24 season, this man got 24 goals and 8 assists. Now, this is the type of striker we need, a bagsman, a talisman. And similar to the players that we've already bought into Ellen Road this summer, he is a big boy, standing at 6'2". But don't let the height deceive you, because the man has still got a bit of pace. He can shift. He's also great at bringing players into the game, which for Leeds would be massive with our wingers getting involved. And then, like I say, with the amount of goals he scores, his finishing would take us to another level. That's something that Leeds have missed. I know last season we had Joel Piru, and listen, the stats don't lie. That man finished top goal scorer in the Championship, but I don't know whether he can do that in the Premier League. Now, the chances of this move happening are getting more and more likely, to be honest. Evan Ferguson has gone from Brighton to Roma on loan, which is kind of facilitating this move. Evan Ferguson has also hit the ground running in pre-season for Roma, so this could be something that moves quite quickly over the next few days, especially with the interest from Newcastle for Muniz now as well. Okay, and the third player for Leeds United. Now, I think we desperately need a number 10 as well as a striker and a winger, which is really exciting because we get all the attacking options. We've already sorted the defence, we've already sorted the midfield, but someone we need to sign is a number 10, a creative midfielder. We've obviously got Brendan Harrison. Joel Piroux can play there as well, but somebody with a bit of Premier League quality, somebody that's going to take us to the next level. And this man definitely would do that. How likely it is probably another story. Now, I've gone for Harvey Elliott. I would absolutely go nuts if this man came to Ellen Road. What a phenomenal footballer Harvey Elliott is. I don't think he gets the respect that he deserves. Obviously, just took the under-21s to another championship in the Euros for England. He's very much rotated at Liverpool. Doesn't probably get the minutes he deserves. Leeds United constantly have links with Buendia and Harmer, and I just don't think they're right. Especially Harmer. I think we can do so much better than that, and this man would be so much better than that. Now, why would he come to a team that are going to be fighting relegation from a team that have just won the Premier League or signing a super team? Well, I get it. I completely get it. And if it was a couple of seasons down the line and we were still in the Premier League, this would probably be a more likely transfer. But it doesn't have to be on a permanent basis, Harvey Elliott. We can sign you on a loan deal, my friend. If you can turn it on at Ellen Road like you have done for Liverpool, like you did for Blackburn, like you do for England, then you would be adored. From Leeds United, we are going to go to Burnley. Now, Burnley have had probably one of the worst transfer windows out of the three. In fact, definitely the worst transfer window out of the three. They've signed Brun Larsen, who looks like a decent player, but apart from that, they need some reinforcements badly. Right now, they don't have a recognised striker, which is not good. I tell a lie, they have a recognised striker, but it's Zian Fleming. Exactly. The man that I've gone for is signing number 1 for Burnley, the striker Nikola Kristovic. Now, this man plays once again in the Serie A for Lecce this time around, and again, a very, very good striker. 11 goals and 5 assists in the Serie A for this man last season. A few teams around Europe have been linked with him as well, and I don't think he's going to break the bank. I think they're looking for around 15-20 million for the services of this man. Physically dominant, and his finishing ability is fantastic, which Burnley have missed massively. Last season, Burnley scored goals from Josh Brownhill. Josh Brownhill is leaving Burnley on a free, which I think is mental. In fact, Leeds United have been linked with him this morning. Leicester have been linked with him as well. I think he got 19 goals for Burnley last season. Burnley need a striker desperately, and I think this man would be a very, very good signing. Obviously, James Trafford has signed for Manchester City, which means there is a vacant space in goal at Turf Moor. I've seen links with Sam Johnston from Wolves, which would be a good signing because of the experience he's got. He's a top-class shot stopper, but the way Burnley play, the way Scott Parker plays, they need someone that can play out from the back, play with their feet, and Sam Johnston probably isn't that. The goalkeeper that I'm going to go for as player 2 for Burnley is a man called Rome Jaden Owusu-Adoro. Now, I really like this goalkeeper from AZ Alkmaar, 21 years old, so fits the bill at Burnley of a young squad as well. Not that that is necessarily needed. In fact, they probably need some experience in that team. So this could come back to bite you a little bit, but at the same time, I really like what this man offers. Kept 9 clean sheets in 37 appearances for AZ last season. Some of them were included in Europa competitions. Again, experience in European competitions at just the age of 21. Now, one of the main attributes that this man has got is he's very good with his feet, very good at playing out from the back. He's also a good shot stopper. This one is probably a bit of a risk, but one that could definitely pay off for Scott Parker and his men. The final player at Burnley now, like I just said, defensively last season, they were unbelievable. However, they've lost one of those centre-halves. CJ Egan-Riley has gone to Marseille. So as well as a new goalkeeper, they also need a replacement centre-half. Luckily for Burnley, Esteve has just signed a new long-term deal at the club, but now they need somebody alongside him. Who is that man? Well, I've gone for a player that knows Turf Moor. He's been at Burnley under Vincent Kompany a couple seasons ago. I've gone for Taylor Harwood-Bellis from Southampton. He fits the style of play. He's confident on the ball. He can play out from the back, strong aerially, and although he's got a wealth of experience, he's still also very young and got so much more to improve on. Obviously, Southampton have just gone down and he's gone down with them, so he's probably going to be looking for a move back to the Premier League, and this one would be perfect for him because it's a club that he already has been at. I also think he'd slot in perfectly next to Esteve, and again, wouldn't be breaking the bank. Do I think he's better than CJ Egan-Riley as well? I think I do, just a little bit. Need Premier League quality, and Harwood-Bellis is Premier League quality. And finally, the last team of the 3 teams to come up, we have got Sunderland. Now, it is well documented. It is well known that Sunderland are absolutely smashing this transfer window. Black Cats have signed some fantastic players already, but there are still a few positions that Sunderland need to fill, and they need to fill them very, very quickly, because defensively, this team I worry about. They've signed a left-back, Renelden, I think it is, from Atletico Madrid, who brings a bit of experience. But centre-half-wise, they're really lacking. They've still got Dan Ballard and Luke O'Nien as it stands. However, do I think they'll cut it in the Premier League? I definitely don't. So because of that, a man that they are very, very much linked with, I have gone for John Lucimi from Bologna. Do I think they'll get this signing over the line? I actually do think this signing will get done. Lucimi is left-footed. He's composed on the ball. He's going to be the ball-playing centre-half that they so desperately need. In the season when Calafiori signed for Arsenal from Bologna, he was seen as the best defender, but Lucimi was up there as well. I touched on it just then. He's going to be the man to probably replace Luke O'Nien, the ball player of the two, next to Dan Ballard or another centre-half should they get one. Lucimi is great in 1v1 situations. He's fast, he's strong, he's composed. And Labrie plays a high line. He loves bodies up the pitch, and Lucimi allows for this to happen. Not only that, but with the way he carries the ball forward from a defensive position, with his long passing range, this suits Labrie's system down to a T. I think Sunderland just need to get this deal done. Get Lucimi in, because currently that defence is still not what it needs to be. Okay, player 2 for Sunderland. Now, I was going to go with a goalkeeper, but they've pretty much signed a goalkeeper. Probably be confirmed today as I am filming this video. Robin Roos looks like he's going to be the new goalkeeper at the Stadium of Light. So instead of a goalkeeper, we're going to go to the other end of the pitch and look at a striker. Now, Sunderland obviously have Wilson Isidore. They have Mayenda. But are they of Premier League class? I'm not so sure. So because of that, I think they need to sign one more striker. Now, I've gone for another Georgian in this list. We've got Georgia's Mikhail Tadze. Now, we saw Mikhail Tadze for Georgia in the Euros, and I know it was over a year ago, but clearly there is a player there. This man was on fire in Euro 2024. And he still got 15 goals and 9 assists last season for Lyon in all competitions. And he offers something different to Wilson Isidore. Mikhail Tadze will get in them little pockets. Almost plays a number 9 / a number 10. Create a lot of chances, as we saw with 9 assists last season, but he also scores goals. He's also a finisher, and that's what Sunderland miss. Wilson Isidore, we saw it last season, can score an unbelievable goal, but can miss a sitter. And Mikhail Tadze's finishing ability would take Sunderland to another level. If Sunderland could get a coup like this, or someone similar to Mikhail Tadze, then I really do think that these guys have a strong chance of staying in the Premier League next season. But like I said, defensively, they worry me. So because of that, player 3 is another central defender. Like I say, Dan Ballard, Luke O'Nien, good to have as rotating players. They're good to have as backups. But if they're my centre-halves going into the Premier League season, I am a little bit worried. Now, if they get Lucimi on one side, he's the ball player. So they need a centre-half to go next to him that is going to be something similar to Dan Ballard, the one that wins headers, the one that's a bit more physical, but also can still play. Now, this one hurts me to say as a Leeds fan. I think Sunderland should be looking at Charlie Creswell. Creswell has obviously been playing in Ligue 1 for Toulouse, was fantastic in the England Euro under-21s win as well, and he's definitely a step up from Dan Ballard. He offers similar attributes in terms of his physicality, but he's also really good on the ball. He can play out from the back. He can match Lucimi, and I think he'd probably take a move back to England. Sunderland not being far from Leeds as well, so he's in the north of the country, and with experience now in Ligue 1, with experience playing regularly, I think this man is ready for a move back to England, either at a top championship side or a Premier League team. So there we are, people. That is the 3 transfers that I think these teams need to sign to stay in the Premier League come the end of next season. I know it's a massive ask. I know not many people share the same opinion of me that one of these teams will stay in the Premier League, but I genuinely believe that this will happen this year. Let me know in the comments who you'd love your team to sign. Still a long way to go in this transfer window. Don't be surprised to see a lot more ins and outs from these 3 teams. If you enjoyed the video, then please do leave a like, drop me a comment, let me know who needs to sign who. Subscribe if you're new around here. Like I said, people, it's completely free and it helps me out massively. Apart from that, it is always a pleasure, never a chore. When you leave, close the door, take it easy, everybody, and I'll see you all very, very soon.